Today I decided to talk from the car, and I just came from church, and as I was about to get out, it just came to me to just make a video from the car. And today I'll be speaking about like the thing that came to me. It came to me earlier this week. And everything that you do, we gotta make sure that we are intentional. When you're intentional, you pay more attention to detail. You don't just do anything that you're doing for the sake that you're doing it, but you do it for the sake that you want it to be excellent, to operate in excellence, because you're intentional about it. You put your heart behind it. It's like even with conversations, when I speak to people, if I feel like I'm not going to be speaking from my heart, I'm going to not even start the conversation, because I'm at a point in my life I don't even want to have meaningless conversations anymore. Each and every conversation that I have has to be intentional. I'm at that point right now. That's why I like to surround myself with people of faith who are intentional about what they're doing. They're not just living life for the sake of living life. I need people who are conscious of what they're doing in their own life. And speaking on that, intentionality brings awareness to the situation that you're currently in. When you're intentional about, look, I'm going to start lifting weights. Okay, let me put it like this. When you're intentional about building muscle, it shifts from I'm going to pick the heaviest weight to, okay, cool, I'm going to put my mind in my bicep, and I want to feel I'm intentional with that contraction. I want to feel each and every pull of that muscle, and I want to feel it when it relaxes, because I'm intentional of that muscle getting built up. I don't want to flex too much. My biceps are still recovering from yesterday. I did my back and bicep. So being intentional, there's no, oh, I didn't know about that. Nah, when you're intentional, you pay attention to detail. When you pay attention to detail, it's hard. One, for a person to play a fool on you. Two, it's hard for you to miss anything, because you ain't just doing it for the sake of just doing it, but you're doing it to understand, to know. And with me coming to my way of eating, I can tell that now it has switched from I'm just eating to satisfy my taste buds, which I still do normally on weekends, like Sunday today. I wonder what I'm going to eat, but that's not the point. The point that I'm trying to say is that even when I make my food, I'm so intentional about what goes in my body. Not everything goes through my mouth. You get what I'm talking about? I'm intentional that I do not want to have a body that's operating from the fuel of junk. I don't want my body to operate from food that is not nutritious. I don't want that. So I'm intentional about what goes in my body. I start to look at what I'm doing with a different eye. I start to look at what I'm doing to understand. I start to look at what I'm doing to know what I'm doing, not to just do it for the sake of doing it like I'm an unconscious zombie, or I'm a zombie walking around like an NPC, just doing what needs to be done for the sake that is being done. You know what I mean? Let every breath that you take be intentional. Know that, okay, cool. Right now, as I'm speaking right now, I'm intentional about the breath that I'm taking and speaking, about what's in my heart. Like, I don't, I can't stress this enough. Intentionality brings excellence from my regard. It brings excellence because you do it to understand. When you're beginning a relationship with an intention, you begin to be faithful to that relationship, because your intentions are pure. When you're pure with your intentions, I do not want to go into that impure intention, because I've been there when I was in relationships, and my intention was to do certain things, and after doing those certain things, that relationship fades off because I fulfilled my intention. You get what I'm talking about? But with Christ living and governing my life right now, like my intention in everything that I do is to operate in a pure heart. My relationships, I want to operate with the intention of purity in my relationships. I want to operate with the intention of truthfulness in my relationships. I want to operate with the intention of health in my food. I do have fun, especially on weekends, when it's like, you know what, it's just time for me to let go. To let loose a bit. I've been strict on my diet. I've been strict on this, that, and the times that I eat. And right now it's like I've seen that as I also become intentional with my rest days, it gives me more fuel to be intentional on my work days. You know what I mean? Moral of the story, be intentional in what you do and start paying attention to detail. Don't let ignorance fool you. I am at a point where I do not want to let ignorance fool me. And right now, since I'm intentional, it's like ignorance has to sign ID that, okay, cool, in this point, I'm allowing ignorance to do that. And even when I allow it, I know that I'm operating in ignorance. You know what I mean? So it's just certain things that I'm still working on myself when it comes to that. So with that being said, let's all be intentional in everything that we put our mind on. Like me getting to 10% body fat. I'm intentional about that. I'm so intentional, I've told God about it. And we've been speaking. And lately, I've been finding a groove because it's feeling like the way of eating that He gave me has become a base on how I build from here going onwards. Because I'm also leaving creatine for a minute. And I just want to put intention behind everything that I do. Because this life thing, it's Christ given. And He gave us this life for a purpose. Not for a test run, for a purpose. And I want to be intentional about every breath that I take. That's where I'm at right now. Road to 10% body fat, man. It's been a journey. It's been a long journey. Oh, and I think I just reached 10% body fat because of how much detail I see on my body now. Let's see how it looks. Actually, the more I look at it, I think this might just be my last 10% body fat video from here onwards. I'm going to be doing Sunday psychologies only.